So, in society, it's human behavior pretty much to separate ourselves into our own groups.
Undertale has many secrets and other very obvious life lessons throughout its story, but the ones that clearly stick out the most are the themes of isolation and friendship. The war between humans and monsters was unfair for the monsters, because they weren't prepared with tactical weapons, which caused their downfall and loss of the war, and inevitably, isolation of all their kind. After the war, monsters were taken in for experiments by other monsters and were trapped underground for their mutation. They were kept away from their families and lied to. Throughout the game, you can find shopkeeper NPCs who have spoken about the monsters' loneliness down underground.
Throughout the game, you're meeting all kinds of different monsters who look way different from you. As you're playing the game, you get kind of tied to those characters and you care about them and you realize just because someone looks differently or maybe doesn't act the same way as you doesn't make it right. Isolation doesn't do anyone any good.
Undertale truly shows that you can't get through life without somebody by your side. Sans and Toriel, two side characters, are really close friends because of Sans shedding light on a horrible situation for monsters. He told jokes to Toriel, which impacted her in a positive way. Without the relationships of side characters in the game, you would definitely end up dying instead of successfully ending the game. In the end, Toriel saves you from fighting Asgore. All 6 of your friends come together to save you, much like how your friends help you in real life. If the game or character relations were different, perhaps you wouldn't have the ability to perceive these messages of friendship. After a war, both parties end up suffering, but the losing one suffers more. In Undertale's case, after the war, the monsters were locked away and couldn't do anything. They couldn't see sunshine and had to create a way of living. The monsters were not found anywhere. They were erased from history. There was no information about what happened to them. They were hidden away, much like how nobody knows what actually happens during war today, and how we live life blindly. Undertale, an amazing, well-written RPG, tells a plethora of life lessons, and really has a deep core message. Undertale shows that you can't get through life just on your own. You need people beside you. Just because we look differently from each other, like the monsters and humans in the game, doesn't make us truly different from one another, and that we should all accept each other just the way we are.